VC Big Star 1000 with a new installment of Revolutions, recent spins from the past week. I hope everyone's well. So nice to see all these people coming back to make videos. Jeff growing double O cabbage. Um, Great. Andreas Grecian Thunder. Andreas Sonic Mainliner. Christoph. Chris Cole. Um, I'm sure I'm going to forget people. Gideon Strumpet, John Ra, even Teddy has made a video earlier today. Today is Sunday. If I've forgotten someone, it's not out of ill will. It's just that I don't have a list in front of me. This is Sunday afternoon here in Melbourne. The weather is glorious. I will not post this video today because I'm shooting it today when I've got time, and then you can I'll post it probably on Wednesday as I do now. Having a cup of coffee. Yeah, as I said, it's a glorious winter's day, very very bright and sunny, typical Australian winter's day with blue sky, fantastic. So I've got a box next to me here. You can just about see it, and I've put my recent spins, the spins from the past week. I've got 3 CD, 1 7-inch, and about 10, 15, 20 records. I don't know. You'll see. You have to wait and see and stick around with me. I'm going to pull out some stuff. I've got some CDs. I might start with the CDs that I've been playing. Alright, I'll start with an all-time classic. Never heard of this record before. Have you heard of it? It's pretty obscure. I was playing this last Sunday, a week ago, and it's just boss. It's boss. This album. It's Rob Panix. He's a fan, I think. A lot of people are fans. To me, it's almost like the birth of alternative rock. This here, it's the foundation stone of it. Smith, The Queen is Dead, 1986, and another Stone Cold classic that I was revisiting. I haven't played this in a long time. Bone Machine by Tom Waits, which I would love to have on vinyl. Sadly, they're very, very expensive, and half of them are bootlegs anyway. So, unless Tom Waits decides to reissue this properly, this will suffice. It's really fantastic Tom Waits records. It's really sort of disjointed and crazy, and it's one of the best Tom Waits albums. Yeah, CD sounds good. No problem. We'll go with that for the moment. Here is an Australian classic. That's the last CD I've got, I promise you. If you haven't switched me off by now. This is something you can find just about everywhere here in Australia on vinyl and on CD. It's like they're just everywhere. This is the third, I think, album by Midnight Oil. Red Cells in the Sunset, with its sort of post-apocalyptic landscape of Sydney. You can just make it out. That's the Sydney Harbour Bridge there, and that's the opera. Probably should take this out of the. I'm a bozo. Don't worry. Yes, you can sort of make it out. I love this sleeve. It's fantastic. The music inside is top notch. I think probably my second favorite Midnight Oil album after 10, 9, 8. If you know your Midnight Oil, you would know. This is a great record, and you can find this for nothing. Peanuts. Here is a bit of VCLT given to me by Christian Mizzy, Siren05, who also makes videos on occasion, and he works with me. We work together in well, we're at the same place of work, and so this past week he gave me this 7-inch by Lizzie Mercier Desclous, French post-punk singer who migrated to New York City and became part of the scene. I have her first two records, and he knows how much I like her, and so he gave me this. This is very much in the vein of the Slits, actually, if you know the Slits. The song Wakwa Zulu, Quizi Zulu Rock. I didn't know if I was going to pronounce this. It's an Italian press on CBS. Really, really nice track. I didn't have that track at all, and thank you, Christian. And yeah, post-punk, kind of in the vein of the Slits. I want to take a sip of my coffee. If you're offended by this, switch off. Now, I might stay on post-punk since I'm here. Why not? Here is a great post-punk album. Kind of topical as well. This is JJ Burnell, Yeoman Cometh. JJ Burnell was the bass player in the Stranglers, French guy. And I love this album for many reasons. Number one, I love the Pompidou Center in Paris, which adorns the front cover. It's one of my favorite buildings in Paris. I mean, a little bit jingoistic here, and a thought for my compatriots in Nice. Terrible thing. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about the state of the world. It's going to shit as we know it. And inside is the European Union symbol logos with the stars, and shows you the evolution of Europe. Europe 814 AD, 1653, so on and so forth, until you arrive to the European Union comprises of UK, France. Not anymore. It doesn't. No, I just thought that was quite funny. Now the music on this is minimal synth, post-punk, minimal synth. I really like this record. It's tiny bit pretentious at times, but conceptually I'm talking. But check out the tune "Do the European," another tongue-in-cheek reference to the state of things at the moment. Staying on vaguely the same line, I pulled out my copy of this classic Slave to the Rhythm by Grace Jones, classic in every way. It is on Z Records, I think. Yeah, yes or no? I'm like Fred's talking shit. No, it's on Manhattan Records, but on ZZT Records, not on Z Records. Z Records is a completely different thing. It's a New York thing. ZZT, produced by Trevor Horn, hence the connection with ZZT, which Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Trevor Horn. I'm sure you can make out the connection. This is an absolutely fantastic album. Obviously the title track, but everything else is just it's just a top notch sort of concept album. And I pulled this out because I just bought the autobiography, if you will, Grace Jones, I'll Never Write My Memoirs, which is a great book, very highly recommended. Okay, what else? Any other post-punk things, or should I go in any random order? I like to theme things, you know me. I'm a theme kind of a guy. Now, well, I'll just go in the order they're here. A little bit of a guilty pleasure. Hall & Oates, yes, believe it or not, I really love the pop music of Hall & Oates. Sort of even the sort of stuff that's considered cheesy, like Maneater, and I Can Go For That, and Private Eyes, and Kiss on My List. Oh, I mean, I'm saying this with a smile, but I love those songs. This is not anything like this. This is the album that they did with Todd Rundgren, and the most difficult to find. I found this at the end of last year, end of 2015, in a local record store, totally randomly. I wasn't even looking for it. and I was so happy because it was just really cheap and produced by Todd Rundgren. So it's the sort of music that you would expect from um, where Todd Rundgren plays lead guitar, background vocals, yeah, on this. But this is a really just sort of classic blue-eyed soul, but a little bit progressive as well. I might do a give me 10 on blue-eyed soul. Something fun. Just like maybe something a little bit on AOR or that kind of branch of rock. All in All, Steely Dan. You know, all of it, all of which I love. But personally, I'm a sucker for melody. I just love melodies. Okay, completely different on a completely different tangent. This is Caravan's third album. Sorry, second or third. Um, it is called "If I Could Do It All Over Again, I Would Do It All Over You." Slightly pornographic reference. I don't know. I'm not sure. You read it the way you want. This is arguably Caravan's best album. The first side is top class. From the title track, I Wish I Was Stoned, Don't Worry. And then the centerpiece is side two. There's a big suite, Can't Be Long Now, Françoise for Richard. Ignore the Glare, Caravan, yes. If you don't have this album, you need to get it. This is a French press on Motors. The original one has got this kind of green cover where they're standing in the woods. I mean, you've surely have seen it. Continuing, here is a classic amongst classics. Since Bowie's death, people play Bowie, and this week I chose Low, which was highly rewarding. This is a Canadian press, which I've had for ever, I would say. It's one of his best records. Top 5, Bowie, easily top 5, top 3 even. Low, fantastic 1977. It's a Berlin period record. A little bit of electronic music from Japan. YMO, Yellow Magic Orchestra with Rishi Sakamoto and Aroni Osono. Well loved in the VC. Technodelic. I really like this record. Really rate it. It's fantastic. I mean, it's very much in the vein of. I've been talking about Kraftwerk a lot recently. It, to me, is a close cousin. 1981. They were just sort of doing similar things at the same time. I would say it's that kind of music. Shout out to Ben Costello, who was showing this record the other day in his latest video, and I happen to have played it in the same week. Not that these two events are related, but this is Sunset to Dawn on Muse. This is an absolute masterpiece of the jazz fusion funk. I think jazz fusion is probably a better descriptor. Just a top-notch record. This obviously was an ex-radio station copy. If you haven't heard this, you must. If you like jazz fusion, the electric piano on it is off the charts. The drumming is off the charts. It's just an all-round fantastic record. Very highly recommended. Then again, Muse is a bit like this. Okay, now I don't know how many people in the VC are familiar with the 4AD band Diff Jazz. This is Diff Jazz. Diff Jazz were a 4AD band. You can see the picture, the Vaughan Oliver kind of design there. They were, I think, a London band from memory. I don't know. I mean, I sort of became aware of them when I read the 4AD book. I don't, they were not on my radar before I read that book, and I then it was very interestingly described because they described it as a post rock band on 4AD, and there's not that many bands that sort of fit that bill on 4AD, and it's post rock, a bit of talk in there as well. I would definitely recommend this release, which is basically two 12-inch EPs collected into one. It's called Out of the Trees. Out of the Trees. And side B, no, side A, Euremix. Euremix. There you go. It's written there. Euremix. You can see there. It's sort of spelt in a really bizarre way. Euremix with a H is the best really sort of moments div jazz. So you can get this quite easily. This is a comp of two 12-inch. It's fantastic. It really has a sort of talk kind of sort of sound to it, and post rock, but not in the sort of as you imagine it post rock to be. Maybe more about the atmospheres and the ambient sound of post rock, like talk as I said. One that I won't talk for a long time is this. I played my copy of What's Going On, Marvin Gaye. I don't know that I need to say very much about this. It's like the Smith record at the start. It's classic is classic is classic, forever. Wonderful record. Here is another really amazing. I mean, I keep saying this, but obviously it's a record collection. You keep stuff that you like in it. You're not going to keep shit in it just for the sake of it, Oh, I've got. I'll play this record. It's really, really shit. Imagine. They're amazing because I think they're amazing. They're not amazing because they're amazing. This is amazing. This is modern electronic krat rock, Kreidler, Appearance in the Park from 1990 something 6 or 98. And Kreidler, just a German band, electronics with live drum, like a modern version of Cluster, if you like, a bit more dynamic, perhaps a bit more. Check out this album, Appearance in the Park. And there's a song on this which I can't remember what the title of the song is, which is completely dope. It's one of the side B songs, maybe Au Pair or Coolness, something like that. Some reggae. In my opinion, maybe the best British reggae records. I mean, I don't see how you can compete with this. Steel Pulse from Birmingham, Handsworth Revolution. Interesting story on personal level is that I lived in Birmingham for a year when I was a student, and I actually lived in Handsworth, which is a pretty dodgy area. Well, it was. I don't know if it's changed in the last. I mean, I was there in 1997 to 98. But this is just a monster reggae record from England. I think on the par with other English notables such as Linton Kwesi Johnson. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And obviously early UB40 is not to be dismissed. It's absolutely wonderful. Like the first 2 or 3 records by UB40, I love them. I have them and I will always keep them because it's great. Yet another classic Monk Underground with its just, isn't this the best record sleeve? I mean, honestly, it's got everything. This thing is, from its Nazi officer being tied up, and there's a cow, and there's a woman with a gun there. I mean, it's just insane. This is a wonderful Monk album. I mean, with Thelonious Monk, I always pick up Monk albums that are decently priced every time I see them. So my collection is slowly growing. Probably have like 5, 6 Monk records, and I'll probably get more, as time goes by. But this is a classic. I love the way he uses time, and he's a very surprising player. When he hits the keys, there's moments of silence, and it's very entertaining to listen to. Here is a classic slowcore record, Low, a three-piece from. I think they're from Minnesota, from memory. Really gentle, slow, gentle music, beautiful. This is Trust from 1990 something on Cranky. This, I think, is an original press. Wonderful record. Really like low, well, yes, gentle, slow music. 21 minutes. Shit, I need to move on. It is a not totally satisfying record, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, it's cool, yes, but I don't know. It's a little bit gimmicky at times. Melvin Jackson, Funky Skull on Alarm Lights. It's a nice record. I mean, yes, it's funky and it's kooky and it's strange, and it should belong in a genuine funk collection. But there are moments on it where I'm not entirely sure that it totally resonates with me, if you get my drift. This is from 1973 or something along those lines. So it's a funky record. Here is a record that resonates with me big time. This is the wonderful Sung Tongs by Animal Collectives. Last week I was talking about the Residents. Well, this is the Modern Residents, in my opinion. They're sort of like the 2000 answer to the Residents. Really wonderful, off-kilter, sort of acoustic, acid folky kind of, a tiny bit punkish tracks. It's just very hard to define. This angular post-punk masterpiece was spun Broad Trees by David Sylvian, lead singer of Japan, with a who's who of Holger Tsukai, Steve Jensen, Richard Barbieri, Rishi Sakamoto, John Hassel, Kenny Wheeler, Mark Isham, Danny Thompson. I mean, this is just really, very, very avant-garde for its time, and very angular. Spiritual Jazz. That was the best album of last year, I think. Kamasi Washington, the epic. Takes a while to digest this record, but it's wonderful, wonderful nonetheless. I'll move on because otherwise you'll kill me. Okay, a couple more. Only like 2 or 3 more. Here is a record. Well, in my time away from the VC, I spent some time selling records and chasing some grails. And this is something that I bought with records that I sold a few months ago. The Elephant Trot Dance by Khalik Al-Ruf and Salam, which is a spiritual jazz record on Nilva Records, which I think is from Switzerland, the label. Sounds as cool as it looks. That's what I'm going to say. Look it up. The Elephant Trot Dance on Nilva Records. The first couple of tracks are smoking. It sort of loses its sort of spiritual tinge on second side, but it's still a very strong record. Amongst all the records that Chris 417 Basket sent me a couple of weeks back, probably a month ago, Christoph, if you're watching this, I know you will not believe that the record that I've enjoyed the most so far is this record. He sent me this really sort of left field singer-songwriter record, Cheryl Ernst, Always Beginning, which is a promo copy. on Bell Records. Now, the first track, the first time I played this, I dropped the needle. The first track, a little bit cheesy, I thought, and I thought it's okay. But then you let the record play. Often great records don't often start with a bang. I mean, I let it play, and the more I played it, the more it's sort of like Judy Seal. If you're familiar with Judy Seal and Linda Perrax, it's almost like a direct crossover between the music of Linda Perrax and Judy Seal. It's acoustic, psychedelic, folk rock with lots of horns, which makes it sort of, folk funk or soul folk kind of. Yeah, it's imagine Linda Perrax with horns, and the voice is sort of reminiscent of Judy Seal as well. Well worth it. It's a really, really good record, Christoph. Thank you very much. I never knew about this record. I didn't know she existed, and I'm prepared to bet that the people watching me right now are taking down a note now. And okay, two more quickly. Classic. I played this yesterday. Caravanserai. This is the best Santana album money can buy, apart from Lotus, the live album. This is, I always call this Latin crat rock, because it kind of is very hypnotic, lots of drums and lots of congas. It's a wonderful record. If you see this for $1 in the bin, and if you don't know anything about Santana, just buy this. Be blown away. Your mind will just. And this is what I played this morning. The Stanley Cowell Trio, Illusion Suite. ECM, actually, mine is on Trio Records from Japan. Stanley Cowell, founder of Strata East. Wonderful electric piano record trio. Jimmy Hops, Stanley Clarke, Stanley Cowell. Wow, that was a marathon, 27 minutes. I hope that I haven't gone on too long. I tried not to. But I hope you enjoy VC, and leave me some love and comments, and keep spinning your records. I don't have a catchphrase like everybody else. I don't really care for that. I just show records.